welcome to my channel. Today we will discuss the Huygens-Poiseuille's law. This video lecture is the continuation of the module viscous flow. Okay, in previous video we had learned about the Reynolds experiment and Reynolds number. So today we will discuss Huygens-Poiseuille's law. Okay, so without any further delay, let's get started. Huygens-Poiseuille's law. This law is related to the flow of the fluid in a circular pipe. When an incompressible fluid is flowing through a circular pipe, then we use the Huygens-Poiseuille's law. Okay, before deriving the Huygens-Poiseuille law, we have to see the following assumptions which we had assumed. Okay, that is, first assumption is the flow is steady. Flow is steady means the velocity of the flowing fluid remains constant with respect to time. There will be no acceleration. Okay. Now second assumption is flow is axisymmetric, means the circumferential velocity of the flowing fluid remains constant. And the third assumption is flow is fully developed. Flow is fully developed means the velocity profile of the flowing fluid does not changes in the direction of the flow. Okay. Now by considering the above assumptions, we can form a equation of resultant force in the direction of the flow. This equation is known as Navier-Stokes equation. Okay, Navier-Stokes equations. So now we will write the Navier-Stokes equations. So now as we can see, our flowing fluid is in the positive x direction. So our direction of the flow is in positive x direction. Okay. So here as we can see, the flow of the fluid is in positive x direction. So the Navier-Stokes equation can be given by Fx equals to force due to pressure plus force due to gravity plus force due to viscosity. Okay. Now if we neglect force due to gravity, then we can obtain the equation of Huygens-Poiseuille's law. Okay. Now why force due to gravity is neglected? Now as we can see, the pipe, the circular pipe is in horizontal direction, and the fluid which is flowing through the pipe is also in horizontal direction. Now as the component of the force of the gravitational force is in vertical direction and the flowing of the fluid is in horizontal direction, so we can neglect the force due to gravity. Okay. So by neglecting the force due to gravity, we get an equation, Huygens-Poiseuille law, that is Fx equals to force due to pressure plus force due to viscosity. Okay. This is Huygens-Poiseuille equation. Okay. Now as the flow is steady, as our assumption is flow is steady. Now as the flow is steady, the velocity remains constant. Velocity remains constant means acceleration is 0. And as acceleration is 0, from Newton's second law we can say F equals to mass into acceleration. And as acceleration is 0, force is equals to 0. Okay. So according to Newton's law of motion, we can say that summation of forces in x direction will be taken as 0. Okay. That is summation Fx equals to 0. Now we will move to the flowing fluid in circular pipe. So now consider an cylindrical element A, B, C, D, okay, of cross-sectional area pi into r square. This r is the distance from the axis of the pipe to the top surface of this cylindrical element, that is AD surface. Okay. Now dx is the length of the element. Okay. So the pressure acting on AB will be P, and the pressure force acting on AB will be pressure into area, that is P into pi r square. On moving in the direction of the flow, means on moving dx distance, the pressure acting on CD will be P plus del P by del x into dx. Okay. This equation came from the Taylor's equation, okay, which we had studied in the engineering mathematics. Now the pressure force acting on CD will be P plus del P by del x into dx into pi r square, that is area. Pi r square is the cross-sectional area of this element, circular element. So I will write it properly. Now consider So now we will see the pressure force acting on the surfaces. Okay, so first, pressure force acting on AB surface, AB face, we will say AB face. So pressure force will be pressure into area of AB face, that is pi into r square. Okay, so this is the pressure force acting on the face AB. Now second, pressure force acting on CD surface, CD face. So it is pressure P plus del P by del x into dx into area. Area is pi into r square. So this is the pressure force acting on CD surface. Okay. Now as the flow of the fluid is in positive x direction, okay, as the flow of the fluid is in positive x direction, so the viscous force will act in negative x direction, and this viscous force will act on the surface of the element. Okay, so we will write the viscous force acting on the fluid element. So now third, viscous force. As we know, viscous force is nothing but the shear force. So shear force can be given by shear stress into area. So it is equals to shear stress tau into area of the surface. Okay, surface area of the cylindrical element. So what will be the surface area of the cylindrical element? This will be 2 pi r into dx. Okay, 2 pi r into dx. So this is the viscous force, tau into 2 pi r into dx. Okay, so now we had the pressure force and the viscous force. So we will use this equation. Okay, we will use this equation. Now as summation of fx is equals to 0, so we will write 0 equals to fxp. What is pressure, what is force due to pressure? That is P into pi r square. It is in positive x direction, so positive, minus P plus del P by del x into dx into pi r square, which is in negative x direction, so negative. Okay, plus viscous force. Okay, so tau into 2 pi r into dx, tau into 2 pi r into dx. Okay, now as we can see, this shear stress is acting in negative x direction, so we had to take here negative sign. Okay, so minus x. So this will be P into pi r square minus P plus del P by del x into dx into pi r square minus tau into 2 pi r into dx. Okay, so now by opening the bracket we get P into pi r square minus P into pi r square. Opening this bracket, we will get minus del P by del x into dx into pi r square minus tau into 2 pi r into dx. So this pi r square and this pi r square get cancelled, P into pi r square. So we get 0 equals to minus del P by del x into dx into pi r square minus tau into 2 pi r dx. Okay, so now taking the negative sign common, we get 0 equals to del P by del x into dx into pi r square plus tau into 2 pi r into dx. Okay, so tau into 2 pi r into dx equals to minus del P by del x into dx into pi r square. So this dx get cancelled, this pi gets cancelled, this r and this r gets cancelled. So tau into 2 equals to minus del P upon del x into r. So tau equals to minus 1 upon 2 into del P upon del x into r. So this is the shear stress distribution of the fluid flowing through the circular pipe. So tau equals to minus 1 by 2 del P by del X into R. Okay. So here del P by del X is the pressure gradient, tau equals to shear stress, R is the distance from the axis of the pipe. Okay. Now as we had assumed that the flow is steady. Now as the flow is steady, there will be no increase in its velocity, means velocity is constant. And as velocity is constant, this pressure gradient, or we can say the pressure, the rate of increase of pressure in x direction, that is in the direction of the flow, is constant. Now why this is constant? Because as we know, the flow of the fluid always occurs from high pressure to low pressure. During this flow from high pressure to low pressure, the velocity of the flow of the fluid increases. That means when the velocity of the flow increases, we have the pressure difference. Okay, we have pressure difference. And here we had assumed that the flow is steady, means the velocity is constant. Okay, so as velocity is constant, this del P by del X is also constant. Okay, I hope you understood. So as this pressure gradient is constant and minus 1 by 2 is also constant, so we can say this tau is the function of R. Only variable is R. So tau is the function of R. And as the degree of R is 1, so the graph of tau versus R is linear. Okay, so I will draw the graph, you will see. Before drawing the graph, as we can see, when R is equals to 0, that means at the axis of the pipe we get shear stress. As R equals to 0, the shear stress is also 0. So tau equals to 0 at axis of the pipe. That means that R equals to 0. Now when R is maximum, or R equals to capital R, that is this capital R is the radius of the pipe. That means when R equals to R, tau is equals to maximum. Tau equals to tau max at surface or at the wall of the pipe. Okay, means R equals to capital R. As we move away from the center of the pipe or we move towards the wall of the pipe, the shear stress increases. That tau equals to tau max. So I will draw the graph. Now as the figure given here, you can see that at the axis of the pipe, the shear stress is 0. Now as we move away from the axis of the pipe, the shear stress increases, means at the surface of the pipe or at the wall of the pipe, the shear stress is maximum, and same in the downward side also. Okay, that as we move away from the center of the pipe, the shear stress increases, and at the center of the pipe the shear stress is 0. So this is the shear stress distribution of the pipe when the fluid is flowing through the pipe. Now we will see the velocity distribution. Okay, so as we know that shear stress tau equals to minus 1 by 2 into del P by del X into R, where del P by del X is the pressure gradient and R is the distance from the axis of the pipe. Okay, now according to Newton's law of viscosity, according to Newton's law of viscosity, tau equals to mu into du upon dy. Okay, now the video on Newton's law of viscosity I had made earlier, so you can see that video also. Okay, so tau equals to mu into du by dy, where du is the velocity and dy is the distance measured from the solid boundary. This equation as dy is the distance measured from the solid boundary. This distance we have capital R, and this, the distance from the axis, we have small r, and we want this distance. Okay, this is y. So this y equals to capital R minus small r, capital R minus small r. Okay, So we got y. Y is the distance. Y is equals to distance measured from solid boundary, here wall of the pipe. So y equals to capital R minus small r. So dy will be, this r is the radius of the pipe, will be always constant, so it is 0, minus dr. So dy equals to minus of dr. Now substituting this dy into above equation of Newton's law of viscosity, we get tau equals to mu into du minus dr. Okay. Now substituting this tau in equation of shear stress distribution, we get tau equals to this mu into minus du upon dr, and here tau equals to minus 1 by 2 into del p by del x into r. So equating this tau with equation 1, so we get mu into minus du upon dr equals to minus 1 by 2 into del p by del x into r. Okay, so this minus gets cancelled. Mu into du upon dr equals to 1 by 2 into del p by del x into r. We want the velocity distribution, so keeping du on one side, we get 1 upon 2 mu into del p by del x into r dr. Now integrating above equation, we get this du, integration du to integration 1 upon 2 mu into del p by del x into r dr. Now as we know that del p by del x pressure gradient is constant and 1 upon 2 mu is also constant, so taking out of the integration, we get del p by del x into integration r dr. This is u. So it will be 1 upon 2 mu del p by del x into r square upon 2 plus c1. This is u. Now we want the value of c1. Okay. Now this pipe or this fluid follows the no slip conditions. The layer of the fluid which is in direct contact with the pipe sticks with the pipe, so the velocity of that layer of the fluid is 0. This is known as no slip condition. So at wall of the pipe, means small r equals to capital R, the velocity equals to 0. Okay, so this substituting this in above equation, we get 0 equals to 1 upon 2 mu into del p by del x into capital R square by 2 plus c1. Okay, so we will get c1 equals to minus 1 upon 2 mu into del p by del x into r square by 2. So c1 equals to minus 1 by 2 del p by del x into r square by 2. So substituting this c1 into equation of velocity, we will get u equals to 1 upon 2 mu del p by del x into small r square by 2 minus 1 upon 2 mu into del p by del x into capital R square by 2. Now taking common 1 upon 2 mu into del p by del x into 1 upon 2, we get small r square minus capital R square. Okay, so this will be altogether, we can write u equals to 1 upon 4 mu, this 2 and this 2, and del p by del x into small r square minus capital R square. So this is the velocity distribution. Okay, so this is the velocity distribution. So from this equation we can say this del p by del x is constant, as we know this pressure gradient, and 1 upon 4 mu is also constant. So u is the function of r square, small r square, because capital R is the radius of the pipe, is also constant. So u equals to function of r square, and as the degree of r is 2, So the graph between u and r will be parabolic. Okay, so at the axis or at the center of pipe, that means r equals to 0, we get u equals to u max, means at the center of the pipe the velocity of the fluid is maximum, and at the wall of pipe means at r equals to capital R, putting r equals to capital R, we get 0. So u velocity equals to 0. That means at the wall of the pipe the velocity of the fluid is 0. Okay, so I will draw the graph of u versus r square. So this is the velocity distribution. Now as you can see, at the center axis of the pipe the velocity is maximum, and at the wall of the pipe the velocity is 0. So the graph will be parabolic. That means at the center of the pipe the velocity of the fluid is maximum, and moving towards the wall of the pipe the velocity decreases, and at the wall of the pipe the velocity is 0. Okay, so this is the velocity distribution. Now in next video I will show the maximum and minimum and average velocity of the fluid flowing through the circular pipe. Okay, so that's all. If you had any doubts, please ask me in the comment section. Please subscribe my channel, like and share. Thank you.